Hello ladies and gentlemen, SeKo Starcraft bringing you some more pro replays. Stardust and Miniraser, Team Fnatic. I actually don't think I've casted any games of Miniraser. I think I fit one or two of Stardust. But regardless, two exceptionally good players. Though you don't really see them too much on the high-end tournament scene, they do spend some good time playing at the top of the ladders. And the Zerg versus Protoss. Now, I know that people hate when I speed up replays, but this replay is super long. I don't have to spoil it for anybody else. You can see how long the video is and know that this is a long game. And therefore, we are going to see where we can get to. I don't actually play too many really long games myself on ladder. They're usually really short, and that's how I win. Somewhere in the mid-range, 20 to 30 minutes, which is usually where I die. Or like 40, sometimes 50 minutes, and I actually have some pretty good ultra-late game play. Generally because I go for really strong compositions of mech or these difficult to beat mega armies that just kind of keep you through there. And it's really fun playing ultra late game Terran though. That's when you have ravens out, or battle cruisers, piles of Thors, lots of minerals and no SCVs because you just make any type of, mule call downs. I find it super fun if it gets to that stage. We'll see the scout over here from Miniraser. He's going to see that it's going to likely be a cybernetics expand. It might be for a one base pressure here, but on this map, economy is usually the ticket. We do have a gas going down though for Miniraser here, which is a little bit surprising. On this map, we often see Zerg players inclined to go for more of a macro opening. You will see the timing of the Nexus. We don't have a Stalker yet on the way, but this is usually a good time to get the Zealot Stalker Mothership Core rush, which allows you to go and put on a good little bit of pressure. There's the Mothership Core case in point. We don't have a ridiculously fast third hatchery yet. We might see one here soon, I would suspect, with this macro opening. But it would probably be ill-advised. Oh, there was no queen down there. Why are there both queens down there? Oh, love the ones popping out. That's why. Haha. Good timing from Miniraser. He knows more than I do about the timing, so I'm gonna let him get away with that stuff. Hit the injects. I don't really see anything really strategy-wise on this side. Ooh, Stargate. We're starting to see more Protoss players perfectly fine with putting the Stargate as part of the wall off. Essentially because most of the time the Protoss or the Zerg's going to find out with a scout at some point anyways. It's difficult to stop that. We're actually going to get an upgrade focus out of Miniraser as opposed to economy, which is somewhat surprising to me. So it looks like we're going to see some sort of mid-game timing here with some upgrade advantages to go after some damage, maybe restricting the economy of the Protoss. Unless Miniraser is scouting this completely wrong and is expecting pressure out of Stardust, whereas we see him going into Phoenix play, which will likely just help him build up to a huge economy and maybe go for an expansion to a third base. Zealot goes down without even taking a swipe. That is the difficulty with taking any type of move command instead of attack command. Phoenix will go in there to scout. Oh, we actually see voidrays, so we'll likely see some sort of two-base timing on this side. Zealot's in position, sees the Stargate. I don't think he's going to stick around and attack it. It wouldn't be worthwhile. Phoenix is out. He can see the damage being inflicted onto the Overlord, so he knows that it's not a hallucination. Well, he saw the Stargate anyways. I guess it doesn't matter that much. Still economy on the way. I'm expecting to see a big swell of gateways here in the next little bit. Looks like he's going to shoot down this Overlord, and then we'll probably see what his next tech choice is going to be. If he wanted to go 3 Stargate, we would likely see a third base going up. Voidrays are actually a really good unit to get out. It's a fun unit to get out early as a Protoss player, because it's almost impossible for the Zerg player to really shoot it down in the early game. I mean, if you go into attack, I mean, there's queens and stuff like that, but out on the map, there's very little tech that the Zerg player is going to have in the first 10 minutes that's going to be able to help him deal with it. Lots of Zerglings out on the map now, which is kind of weird. I mean, that's going to help him deny any, ground-based attacks. But I just don't think it's really serving him much purpose to get out all these Zerglings. Unless he's really, really expecting that third base to go down, they're not going to get almost any damage in. Come on, sentry. That's a really awesome spot for that sentry. He is inside of the force field. Isn't that hilarious? That's really funny. He is going to have to get down another force field at the ramp, though. At the same time, does have a void ray over here in a mothership core. Ooh, I thought he had banelings there. Oh, there's the baneling nest. Now, these zerglings are only +1 armor. The +1 attack is about to finish. We'll clean up those zealots. +1 is just started for the zerg player. Looks a little messy right now from the zerg player. He needs some creep up here to try and help his movement between his bases. He might actually lose this third. That'd be quite unfortunate. It looks like Miniraser had full intention of going for a baneling bust, which he still might be able to work out. Unfortunately, with the voidrays there and a mothership core, no, still got enough energy for a recall. I think he's got enough energy for a couple of transfuses if need be, and he's just jerking around with this Zerg player now. Having a spore crawler made in the main might have been worthwhile. He does not have enough stuff to move through here back and forth quickly enough because the creep spread hasn't made it up to the top of that ramp. Can't lose the mothership core. Get the mothership core. Transfuse. Yep, 1 transfuse. 2 transfuses. Well, I guess the queens are working out. Where's the banelings? No. Oh no, this is the force field. Oh, there's the force field. That's alright. He's going to focus down on that starport once again. There are enough force fields here to protect it. Maybe he's hoping to drive out a few force fields, and then once all the force field energy is used up, come back in with the banelings. But now that all the air units have returned home, don't think he's going to get that opportunity. Is he killing? Oh, he was killing his own forge for a second there. It's doing exactly what you want it to. It is upgrading stuff. You don't need to be mad at it. So once again, the zerglings have not really got much done yet. He killed his own starport to get out. Wait, what? What? Can he not fit? He can fit through there. Was that on purpose? I guess so. Maybe it's like, okay, well, abandon ship on Stargate play. If he's got the resources, it'd be worthwhile for him to get Storm. It's so funny for me, like it's expensive, 200 is expensive, but it's such a devastatingly good thing to have that it's like almost ridiculous for me to see people go more than a few minutes without getting it. Even if you don't intend to really use it, at some point in the late game or something like that, you're gonna wish you had it. I don't know if Stardust anticipates getting to late game. This is a pretty decent army, but there's a lot of banelings over here. The sentry count is only, I think there's 2 in here. A couple of force fields available. Lots of queens. You just used up, I think, all of his force fields, though. Ling's coming in from behind for the denial. Do he have charge on these? Yes, he does have charge. That's pretty good. Zerglings have to stay away from those archons. Those are going to make him feel very uncomfortable. We still don't see this intention of another base minus for the protoss. So I think it's a bit of a mistake. If he's doing this pressure, unless he really anticipates winning, he's got a supply lead. I think it'd been worthwhile for him to try to get in his economy backed up here. Pretty good army, though. I'm pretty happy with this army. These archons are going to be pretty darn effective against Zerg player, which I think is still on 1-1. Did he get his 2-2 even started during all this? Oh, he's got 2-2 finished. Man, I got to pay more attention to my StarCraft here. That's really what's going to keep him alive in this fight if it does happen, is that he's got this huge upgrade lead. Otherwise, this very melee-focused army would just wreck face. There's the base going down. Ugh. I don't know if he's going to get back here in time. The queens are hustling it. It's going to be close. Transfuse. 1 transfuse. 2 transfuse. Oh, wow. He saved it and killed a mothership. Fascinating. banelings rolling in. They don't want to hit the archons. They got to hit the zealots. The archons are sliding through, but they're hitting a lot of the archons. I mean, if they kill the archons, that's good too, because that's the splash damage for the protoss. But obviously you want to be hitting those light armored zealots there if you can. So you can get a lot of damage in, but it's not quite enough from our mode. Sorry about the quick little interruption there. Been living off of pretty much caffeine all day, and I don't know if anybody else has ever gotten caffeine shakes. Essentially where you don't take good enough care of yourself and you have too much caffeine, and then you just need sugars and immediate foods, and yeah, it turned out less than ideally. These voidrays are still being jerks. Interesting. Looks like that hatch it doesn't even get imagined it got shut down so fast. So anyways, I had to take a quick little stop and actually go get food in the middle of this cast, just because I felt just outrageously undernourished. Now as a Zerg player, you've got to know that those zealots are still kicking around somewhere. So I'm hoping he's going to track them down and finish them off before they come back, and well, maybe not. So it doesn't take too much for them to come and do damage to your hatch. That is so many queens. Now that's a really effective strategy if you're going for really huge units like Ultralisks or Broodlords, where those transfuses become so vital, but that just seems remarkably unnecessary at this stage of the game. Are the storms ready now? Yes, they are. He gave up a lot. Oh, stormies. Not the best storms. That one looked a bit better. Hey, smash. It's a pretty expensive attack, but the Zerg player is about to move up to a 4th base. I think he's now finally going to move his zealots back down, though. Oh man, thought this was a long game, but this looks really... Oh, DTs. Pretty good baneling hit, but needed another 1 or 2 in there. I think he sees the DTs now. Yeah, he's got overseers on the way. Oh, there's the zealots. Yeah. I don't think killing off the gas is really that important. So he's got spores and overseers going down at home, but still just lings. Look at the economy wise. Wow, they're both pretty bad on economy. Well, it's understandable from the protoss. You just got bum rushed by banelings. I mean, that's just the way of the world. Sees all of those voidrays move out. Now he might be able to get the surround and a kill on this. Good storm there. That storm looks really good. Yeah. Yeah, that turned out pretty good. I'd be happy with that. Still, how many queens does this guy go up to now? 13 for Miniraser. I mean, that's a pretty good chunk of supply to not be able to have. Where's your detection? There it is. Now this is where me as a Zerg player really want to get some static defense up. Like a couple of spores and spines in every base, because even though there is no Robo Bay for Warp Prisms, DTs and Zealots just ruin days. Let's finally pick off one of those. I don't think he's got any starports left. No, he doesn't. 3-3 on the way right now for all of the melee. It is 0-0-3 for the Protoss attack, which is going to make it pretty effective. Pure Zerglings should be able to deal with this. I mean, he's got these banelings super behind the fact. Oh, splash damage for the win. One-shots all those bad boys too. Banelings take it out? Maybe. Does take it out and actually doesn't waste all of them like I expected him to. Can't believe like how much of a dick these voidrays have been all game. Don't let it die. Like, get up that huge economy, get like 90 workers, build some static defenses, and then don't have to worry so much about all this junk. And I just don't think ling baneling is going to carry him through this game. I mean, it's nice and dirt cheap, but the splash damage and upgrade to the protoss. Oh, there it is. There's where it finally is. Like these got to be ultralisks at some point coming out of here. I'm also surprised we haven't had a Robo Bay thrown down just for the sake of having that tech out. Still has this Phoenix kicking around. Not really doing him any good. Lots of queens. I'm surprised this creep spread hasn't gone further. There's been nothing to deny the creep spread of the Zerg player. So if he had all these, 11 or 12 queens, I would expect creep spread to be halfway across the map by now. I don't know if he's going to be able to stop this here with just ling baneling. It's not really in the cards. He's going to need those ultralisks. Some pretty good baneling hits though. Save the workers. Great storms. Save the workers. Save the whales. Yeah, there's the transfuses he wanted to use on those ultralisks. Ooh, I got slashed in the ass. So it's still, I'm going to speed it up slightly right now. It's still kind of just dawdling here into the early-late game. Nobody's got anything too decisive. The armies haven't really gone above 150. And the economy has just been too poor for everybody. Looks like, the Zerg player's trying to get that decisive ultralisk count. 3-3 is about to finish up. Do they have chitinous? They do. So, and I do like getting out the pathogen glands, and festers are going to be quite useful. DTs. And it actually looks like it's going to be on hold position there, waiting for workers to come in. Lots to creep. Once again, still voidrays being jerks. See what kind of kills these guys have. 19 kills, 14 kills, 18 kills. I like that, a little bit of voidray. I mean, if he went into mutas, it might have been a different story. Maybe this whole game would have been different. But just those 3 guys running around and supporting the army seem to have been super, super effective. I'm not too sure how long that DT is going to stick around before it does anything. Nice denial of a creep there. Actually killed a lot of... There's the observers. Does he have detection in this? No, he doesn't. Knowing that DTs are out, having detection in the army just seems relevant. And watching this as a Zerg player, it feels so crappy to watch like a couple DTs get in this much damage. And if that hive goes down, just because he didn't get up enough defenses, and this base is also going to go down from a very simple group of units, that's so crappy. The Ultralisk Cavern might go down too. Nope, does get the transfuse on it. And he's still not going to kill those voidrays. Well, whatever. Oh, it killed that base too. Man, Miniraser's just kind of falling apart here to this very basic amount of stuff by Stardust. I don't know what his plan could have been. He could have maybe ran a few zerglings or something, but he's got this big army out now. Slow it down. So why are those guys moving so fast? Well, because I have my speed still turned up. Lost 2 bases extremely cheaply. The hive very cheaply once again, and those voidrays might even come back and just deny more. I mean, this has been so low cost for the Protoss player, just for those Dark Templars and Zealots. I don't know if he can break through. Maybe. He's got a lot. And the queens for transfuse. Whoop, come back, you mouse. Does get some feedbacks on all of those there. Well, not all the queens, a bunch of the queens. Good surround. He's got to get in there with those transfusions, though. The queens are on attack move. They've got to get in to help. Well, or not, or they just come in and crush. Nice cancel of the pylon. Denied a whole bunch of DTs from coming in there. Where is this detection anyways? One immortal for the win. That's actually really nice. That would have been a pretty good pickup. Once again, no detection over here. He could end up losing a lot of stuff just from not having any detection on this side of the map. He's got overseers around as well. No, he actually has to retreat, and he's going to lose a whole bunch of queens in doing so. Well, they will at least get the kill off on this base. What is it, down to 2 queens now? Let's see, units wise. Yep, 2 queens left. Just didn't take... And that's just like these small slip-ups that you can see out of players. I mean, they're obviously extremely good players, but you know that there's Dark Templars on the map. Get some Overseers. You know that these run-bys are happening. Get a few static defenses and your main critical points. Just that way you don't have to worry about it, right? Right now, there's... The Zerg player's broke. Because he's lost... Oh yeah, more Dark Templars. And credit to Stardust. I mean, he's been against the ropes and been behind most of this game. But he's using the things he needs to that work. And now there's no anti-air, essentially, to be able to deal with anything. I do like targeting down the Overseer. The pylon's still here. Another DT is going to come in. Get a lot of damage in. Looks like the counterattack's the logical thing, but more DTs warp out, and he's got nothing he can do. Missed the DT with the fungal. Well, no, it's not going to get it. At least he does have an Overseer in this army here. It could get taken out, and then he'd be in a little bit of trouble. Once again, we've got our... Oh, he does have a Spore Crawl over here, but he's got nothing to attack with. Well, that's not necessarily the most logical thing to attack. Nice attacks. Oh, that was one dumb ultra. Well, we're in a really interesting position right now. I'm going to speed it up slightly again. Stardust is broke and is barely mining anything. I think he's... Yeah, he is mined out. Nope, he's got 400 bucks. And long distance mining. Some zerglings over here. Might have been nice to be able to scout that out. Targets down the Overseers once again. I don't think he's got Overlord speed. Does he? Ventral Sax. He does have Overlord speed. Those voidrays, I guess, just move quicker than I thought they would. He's going to get another one. Oh, transfuse. Well played. More DTs. Now, at this point, the DTs are awesome, but they're very expensive to try to maintain. I think that it's just effective for a Miniraser to boot up, get himself that creep spread moving in, keep all these ultras alive, and deny these bases from going up. This long distance mining is super ineffective. A handful of zerglings to run around and do some cancels would be pretty good as well. Does he... The Observer... it would have been worth to snipe that, I think, actually. Probes killing changelings. I like it. That's really nice. It's smart. Just come down here, have a couple of zerglings, pick up some probes. Problem is, this base is about to go up. And right now for the Zerg player, if we look at the units wise, he's only got 25 drones right now. He needs to rebuild his economy, and I think he should just sit back and play defensive for a while. Get that economy up. He's got the killer army, but to break into here might be just suicide. Well, they're on the low ground, actually. If he knew this and could move out, he'd actually get a lot done. Yeah, and he's going to retreat. He needs to. I don't know what he blew up, but sure. Looking around for those expansions. Does not know about this up here at the top. And that's quite unfortunate. One Ultralisk get home to deal with any type of run-bys. Great feedbacks on the Infestors. Well, Once again, this little bit of army will cut through ultras, but if they get caught out and fungled, they will just die. The problem is that Miniraser wants to bust in here and go for the kill, and I don't know if it's quite possible with these ultras right now. Oh, he needs to get those infestors in there for these fungals. He needs to hit them down here, lock them in place. I do like moving around the other side. He's got these overseers here. He's got to take out any type of vision that exists. One-shotting probes. That storm's really not that effective. We're better off saving it for feedbacks on these other units. I said I wouldn't worry about breaking up. This expansion here is just super hidden. Oh man, really? The voidrays killed it off? Give me a break. Once again, couple static defenses. I hate to sound so upset about it, but it just seems wasteful at this point. He's given up so much here cheaply. And picking off overlords might not even be a bad idea either. He's not that far overcommitted right now on supply. A couple more kills and he'll actually be supply blocking his opponent. Creep spread quite stifled. Very good job here from Stardust to be able to keep that pushed back. It's very important. The mobility of this army with the queens has been very critical. Looks like the zerglings now know the gig is up. Protoss still does not want to get caught out in the open, which is going to give a great opportunity for these zerglings to get a lot of kills in. Pretty good amount of economy came in through that, and I did see some DTs warped in. Looks like he got another observer. This base will go down. So it's back to long distance mining. There's not enough minerals once again for Stardust to actually expand. Oh man. Can't lose those workers either. You got transfusions to keep those queens alive. What the hell is that queen doing? Does hit the transfusion. Misses the transfusion. Hit it! Please kill it. No, I guess not. Well, they did get a High Templar at the cost of a bunch of lings, but lings a bit more disposable at this point. Still long distance mining. I'll speed it up once again. This game's still just cruising along. Oh, a spore crawler! No way! Oh, it's gonna get cancelled anyways. Oh man. Couple of transfusions in there. That immortal army is so sick. Oh, that's pretty sexy though. Loses almost all of his ultras. Neural Parasite's about to wear off. Oh man. He's got to kill off the Immortals though. Well, this game just got a lot more desperate. How strange is this? Just some queens left on this side for Miniraser. How many units we got down here? How many probes? 15 probes long distance mining against 17 drones that I think are either hanging out somewhere. Still got lots of larvae available at least. It's a pretty ragtag army for both of these players. Well, it looks like he just wants to make sure that his opponent isn't expanding. Coming down here and picking off some drones would be pretty sexy, I think. He might need all the units he has for defense. Could be a tough hold. Bloop. Where's the... Oh, just... Why do you have these infestors here if you're not going to use them? Does get a fungal down on these guys. Pretty good transfusions there, but these just don't do enough damage. He's gonna try and chase down that Archon with 0 hit points. He's not gonna get there though, it's off creep. Big pile of zerglings do come out though. He's gotta save the hatchery. Where are they going? Really, that archon was worth losing all those queens and that base. What happens now? Like, really? I actually thought the Zerg was going to have that for a while there. That's a couple of decisions I'm not exactly thrilled about. Looks like he wants to come up here and try to kill some tech. Maybe. I think he's just looking for any type of mining base to take out. Catching units isolated, worthwhile. Yeah, spawning pool is worthwhile to kill. Oh, wow. Go after the probes. Pylons, okay. If he can take out enough pylons. It's a lot of pylons he'd have to kill. Wow, is this going to get down to a base trade with like no units for each of these players? There's not enough money right now for Stardust to actually make anything. Was that his last probe? No, he's got one probe left. Where is it? Hiding. There are a lot of Zerg buildings, and they all produce... Looks like he's trying to run away from those guys. Ooh, gets the kill on it. That's actually very important. The more of these things he can kill, the better. Producing one more probe, which is pretty much the last of his money. Alright, slow it down right now, because what he's trying to do, that's all the units he's really going to have, is he's trying to pick them off while they're separated. Ooh. The protoss player can't see them, but if he loses these zerglings, it's essentially done. He should be able to outrun these. Hustle. They didn't lose any. Could he base trade with those zerglings? I don't think so. What do you... Oh, really? It might be trying to go for saving up for a neural parasite. It's risky. Send that one zergling around looking for probes where they should be mining. He's trying to time it well with the broodlings of these killed buildings. Oh, this is so close. Nope, doesn't get it. Well, that if he lives, does he have burrow? He doesn't have burrow. What's he gonna do? Fungal these guys, get some damage in. He has enough larvae to make a couple zerglings as well. He could start going and doing some damage. That's really funny. It's hilarious, actually. You got some larvae left. That would have been better to use, actually, in his attack. To zone out the zealots. That would have worked out much, much better. I don't think there's many buildings left right now for the Zerg player. That's it. This is the last building. That's just it. That's just the GG. Wow. Interesting game. Credit Stardust for being behind most of that game and just knowing what to do to get back into it. I think Miniraser threw that away with some bad decisions. But regardless, one of the longer games I've casted. If you stuck with me, thank you very much. I should have some other games coming at you before you know it.